Today I want to share a template that students can use when creating a student podcast. Hello and welcome to In the Classroom, an educational podcast making teaching and learning more transparent. My name is Benjamin Stewart at benjaminlstewart.org. Today is August 12th, 2021. Before we get into today's topic, if you have any thoughts, insights, if you want to share any experiences related to today's topic, feel free to reach out to me at my Twitter handle at BNLEEZ. If you want to be a part of the Discord community, feel free to access the link at my website at benjaminlstewart.org. Today I want to share a template that students can use when creating their own student podcast. So the template that I'm going to share with you today actually will be applicable to two different classes that I'm currently teaching this semester. Those of you who are taking Communicative Abilities in English 1 with me this semester, and those of you who are taking Listening and Speaking 1, I think will find this template helpful. In fact, we'll be working in class together, completing this template in an effort to organize our ideas so that when we're actually recording our first podcast and subsequent podcasts, episodes, that we have a very clear idea about what we're going to say and the order in which we're going to say it. So the document here that I have on my screen, if you're listening to this podcast, you can see the video equivalent of today's podcast by accessing the show notes. So here I have up on my screen the template that students can use, that you can use, those of you who are taking these two courses with me this semester. And you'll notice here that it begins with a template with general information, and then we have the script for the introduction, we have a body section, and then we have a script section at the end for the conclusion. Remember that the introduction and conclusion should be less than 30 seconds. It should be brief, to the point, and include things like your podcast name, maybe your own name, your slogan, the date, key points, etc. So here the idea is to think of the key points and the talking points as you're going to organize your ideas. Now in the template I have 3 key points as an example and then 2 talking points within each of those 3 points. I would say anywhere from 2 to 4 key points is in a reasonable amount in most of our cases. So feel free to modify this. If you want to reduce this down to 2 points, if you think you need 4 key points, that's fine. But whatever decisions you do make, complete your ideas by filling out this outline so that, again, you have a very clear idea about what you want to say. So the idea basically is just to copy this template from general information down to the script and then insert it below your name. I have here below just a text here, name 1, all the way down. You can go in and replace any one of these. It doesn't matter the order. You can replace this with your own name and then simply insert your template below your name. One thing to think about too, and we've talked about the importance of trying not to read your podcast, to try to create the language. Even if you have mistakes, it's fine. I would much rather you try to be creative in the language that you're using to transmit your idea. That's really the purpose of our own student podcast, is to give us an opportunity to really practice organizing our thoughts and our ideas, but generating new language to express our ideas. Now, I will say for the script, the introduction and the script for the conclusion, the beginning and the end of your podcast, if you want to write out a particular script or text that you can read at first and probably memorize later, that's fine. Remember, the introduction and the conclusion should be less than 30 seconds, so it's very brief. Most of your podcast is going to be about regarding the body of your episode. All right, so I just wanted to create this brief video and audio, this podcast episode, to show you this template, to discuss it with you. This is something that we're going to be using at length in class as we spend a lot of time thinking and organizing our ideas around the key points that we're going to include in our weekly episode. If you do have any questions, those of you who are taking courses with me, feel free to reach out to me, as always, via the chat in Microsoft Teams. If anyone is listening and has experience with student podcasts and wants to share their experiences, again, feel free to reach out to me at my Twitter handle at BNLEEZ. This has been In the Classroom, an educational podcast making teaching and learning more transparent. Thanks for listening.